One thing that Silver Platters has tried to be is our service and selection are two main things. And one thing I like to say is Silver Platters tries to be everything to everyone. We've got probably the largest classical section other than Berkeley on the West Coast. Big folk section, big blues section, rock and pop. We started carrying vinyl in around 2000, 2001 because it started, some of the audiophile places started redoing vinyl, and one thing that's always driven us is technology and that audiophile aspect of it. And it just turned out that audiophiles started going back to vinyl back in the early 2000s. By 2006, 2007, vinyl was starting to become a bigger part of things, and we actually started carrying used vinyl. And now used vinyl is our nightmare. It's overflowing. We're just keep on getting more and more of it. But it has helped keep things going, although CDs are still the main part of our business, and I think always will be. The best part of being a record store owner is that I have a huge collection that I get to touch, I get to look at. It's mine. It just happens to not be in my house. It's out in 3 stores that other people can have. And I've been on a couple panels recently about talking about vinyl collecting, and it always comes down to that, especially vinyl collecting can be really termed a sickness. And someone once asked me, how do you know you've got the sickness? And I said, well, if you ever are looking for a new apartment or house, and that the main thing that you're looking for is something that will hold all your records, or that you have to do a refoundation of the premises to hold your records, you know you've got the sickness. and the other panelists on this, all of them had gone through that. For the most part, the distributors and record labels are great. I really appreciate and hold on to the whole food chain of artist, record label, distributor, retailer, and I try to keep that going. I think it's integral in keeping the whole music business going, because once a label and or distributor decides that it's too much work and digital's the way to go, once one does, it's gonna just a bigger one. Everyone will follow suit, no matter what evidence you can put in front of them. And the evidence is that really physical still makes up the majority of their sales. I think that the biggest problem we're dealing with right now with record labels and distributors is vinyl. And the problem with it is that it is a growing format. Everyone's now embraced it, and they're putting it out. Vinyl back in the 70s and the 80s and even the early 90s was returnable. If you didn't sell it, you could turn it back. And so that allows you, and CDs still are, DVDs still are, so that allows you as a buyer to take chances. And if they're really pushing something hard, like the new Courtney Barnett album, I'm able to step out on those, give it a presence in the stores, and help foster it and get it going, knowing that if it doesn't quite work, I can return it, get credit back. I haven't lost that much. Vinyl nowadays, there's no returns on vinyl, so I'm stuck with whatever I've got. and I can't take chances with vinyl. I've got to know that I can sell it. The other thing is vinyl's too high priced today. It really is. And it needs to be on average about $5 cheaper than it really is. It needs to be below 20 and preferably around that $15 range. There's too much stuff coming out that's between 24 to like $39.99 for vinyl. The biggest hurdle, this is what labels and distributors will tell you, is that it's expensive to press vinyl on, which is true because there used to be production plants all around. All the majors had their own production plants, but they got rid of them, sold them. They got downsized, and so there's not as many pressing plants. But that's really, I'm having a harder time with that excuse, because the amount of pressing that's going on at plants has dramatically increased over the last couple years. And so I don't think that the expense is there that it once was. And so it comes down to the labels finally buckling, and it's very hard once you give the end person that's making the money off of something. If you give them a high mark, it's hard to go down from that. And the same goes with selling to retail. If you start at a low point, now it's very tough to go higher if you need to.
Sure.
iTunes has found that out, and that they went out and decided that the model for a song was 99 cents. And they did that with the thought, we got to grow this thing. Now it's grown, it's going, and they've got to make money now at it. And it really, their model doesn't quite support that. And they've changed some things to $1.29,
Yeah.
but they'd like to do that for everything, but they can't. You're going to kill yourself in the public eye if you do that. Mm-hmm. So there's that kind of two-way thing as running a business, and you got to hit right in the middle there. I get the question a lot. Why are you making it when so many others didn't? Because we're a larger store. Most of the stores that are functioning nowadays, their record stores, are smaller. Very few stores like this exist, and the cost and my answer is that I have a much higher pain threshold for not making money than most businessmen, and that I don't call myself a businessman, because a true businessman is always wanting to grow, always looking for the money. That's what a true businessman is. And I don't follow that model, which could be good or bad. You got to have a thick skin and love what you're doing, and that's the main thing, is the passion for the music and the movies and the stuff, the culture that goes along with that.